Religion is often sold as a path to salvation, but history tells a different story. For centuries, Arab and European powers didn't just bring faith to Africa, they brought a strategic tool for systemic theft. This isn't just a critique, it's a breakdown of religious hypocrisy. Think about the core teachings. Prophet Muhammad's farewell sermon explicitly stated, "A white has no superiority over a black except by piety." Jesus Christ commanded, "Love your neighbor as yourself." If these holy societies actually lived by these egalitarian codes, the systemic racial suppression of black people would be a logical impossibility. So, why the disconnect? Because the savior narrative was the ultimate moral hazard, an escape hatch used to justify the extraction of African wealth while promising the oppressed a reward in the next life. Let's look at the civilizing mission. European and Arab expansion is often framed as a divine calling to save heathens. But logic dictates, if everything is great at home, you don't need to expand. History shows these powers were often facing internal instability and resource scarcity. Africa wasn't a dark continent, it was an empire of resources they envied. By labeling traditional African religions as witchcraft, they didn't just change how people prayed, they broke the spiritual link between the people and their land. They preached meekness and heaven over earth to ensure the people wouldn't rebel against the very real, earthly theft of their minerals and labor. The most effective way to control a people is to control their past. Enter the Hamitic Hypothesis, the pseudoscientific lie that claimed any African achievement, from the pyramids to Great Zimbabwe, must have been built by light-skinned outsiders. Even the Islamic Golden Age in Africa was reframed to center Arab influence, stripping the agency from African-led superpowers like Mali and Songhai. While the Malian Muslims lived the character of Muhammad, patient and peaceful, the institutional powers used the faith to erase African identity. When you burn libraries and loot artifacts like the Benin Bronzes, you force a people to learn their own identity through a foreign, distorted lens. The tide is turning. This is what Ngugi wa Thiong'o called the decolonization of the mind. From the works of Cheikh Anta Diop to the rising return to source movement, the focus is shifting back to IFA, Kemetism, and Vodun. The challenge for modern Christianity and Islam is ethical. If you claim to follow the radical justice of Jesus or Muhammad, yet remain silent on the restitution of stolen African sovereignty, you are choosing the escape hatch over the truth. Mental liberation is the first step toward economic sovereignty. The era of the middleman is over. Do your own research, reclaim your greatness, and as always, stay grounded in the truth.